Hello, this is Ina from Books and Boy Bands, and welcome to another bookish video. Today, I'm super excited to share with you the books that I'll be reading for May, because May is the month for the Asian Readathon and Stan Asian Authors Reading Challenge that I have missed. It has been years since I last participated in this event, and I have quite a number of Asian books on my shelves. It was really hard to decide what books I'll be reading. So what I'll be sharing with you is a possibility pile of physical books. I have a separate TBR for audiobooks that I plan on reading for this month. Maybe I'll just make a short video about that. But for today, I'll just be sharing with you all the physical books that I have. I am planning on reading. I know it's impossible to read all of this. I have 15 books here. But it's nice to have an option because we don't want a reading slump. So I'll just randomly pick out something here. And hope that this fits the prompts. So for Stan Asian authors, you could join this reading challenge because the only thing that you have to do is read a book by an Asian author. That's it. And just share the book. Tell everybody about your love for the book, and that's it. It's hosted by Eunice and Kath. These are their socials. And maybe just use the hashtag #StanAsianAuthors whenever you post about it. I do suggest you visit the Bookstagram profiles of these two creators so that you can know more about Stan Asian authors. But yeah, I remember maybe 2020 when I last participated in this. I read, I think, more than 20 books for Stan Asian authors. But yeah, and then for the Asian Readathon, it's hosted by Cindy from With Cindy. And this year, there are 5 prompts. This readathon is inspired by Past Lives, the movie. I haven't watched that, so maybe this month is also the time to watch Past Lives. I've been very interested about that one. So yeah, but anyway, let's dive into the prompts. We have 5 prompts, and the first one is similar to the Stan Asian authors. It's just to read a book by an Asian author. So all of these books would fit those prompts. And then a book that feels timeless. Read an underrated book. It's up to you to decide what underrated means for you. And then read a debut book. And then the last one, I think, is the hardest because it says to read a book with a story, character, or world that represents what you want in your next life because of past lives. The last challenge by Cindy is, since these are just 5 prompts, you should also consider featuring a different Asian country per prompt. So when I was looking at this stack earlier, I did do some notes, and if I'm not mistaken, I am featuring 8 Asian countries in this stack. But I'm also very positive with hitting this one because I have a separate, again, audiobook TBR for this. So this just to make sure that I can read as many Asian author books as I can. So this month, and of course, I haven't mentioned, but of course, I still do have some Asian authored books on my Kindle. So that's another source for Asian authored books. But yeah, anyway, let's just dive in. I have 15 books to talk to you about, so let's dive in. The first book I have for this readathon is Smaller and Smaller Circles by F.H. Batacan. This is a book I chose aside from prompt 1 for prompt number 2, which is a book that feels timeless because this one is known to be the first crime book of its kind in the Philippines, so that's a legacy already. And then for prompt 4, which is a debut book, this is a debut novel by this author. So Smaller and Smaller Circles also has a film adaptation, and it's the winner of the Philippine National Book Award. So this is about 2 Catholic priests on the hunt through Manila for a brutal serial killer. So I have theories of why the Philippines doesn't have serial killers. It's possible that we have, but we just don't know about them, or our police force is weak to connect the dots, or it's just because we're too populated for a serial killer to be able to hide their crimes. But anyway, it's interesting to read about serial killers in my home country, so that's why I'm excited to read this one. The next book I have is a graphic novel. I just bought this one from the Philippine Book Festival. I just visited today. And this one is from Anino Comics. It's not on Goodreads, so I hope it gets up on Goodreads. But this is Lucia Dreaming, a Dream Diary by Lucia Azul. So it also fits the prompt debut book because I haven't seen another book by this author. And it also fits an underrated book because it's fairly unknown. It's not even on Goodreads, so it's fairly unknown. So there. Next, I have a book that I have included in past TBRs already. It's time for me to read this one, and it's because it's very thin. It's perfect for a readathon. It's All the Lonely People by Kanika Claudine D. Pena. So this one is a book about 6 different people and 6 different stories. They are all feeling lonely in different meanings of the word, and their stories are kind of interconnected too. So like one thing is happening in the eye of this character and the other character is passing by, but in some way they are interconnected, kind of like 6 degrees of separation, I guess. And super excited about this one. It fit the prompts, an underrated book. This is on Goodreads, but it's still fairly unknown. And then it also fits a debut book. This is the author's debut book. So these 3 books are all from Filipino authors, so it's Philippine-based as well. So there. The next one I have is Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. So this features India. And this is an Asian authored book. It's a contemporary romance. I decided to include this on this possibility pile because I know whatever genre I read, I will get back into romance. I might possibly need a romance as a palate cleanser as well. So this one I was gifted a few years back and it's been sitting on the shelves for quite a while now. We have to read this one. So yeah, it says here it's about Karina Mann. She dreams of having a love story of her own, but she is more into repairing cars than swiping right on dating apps. But her search for a soulmate becomes impossible when her argument with Dr. Prem Verma, host of the Dr. Deal show, goes viral. Now, the only man in her life is the one she doesn't want. So I'm sure these guys will be involved with each other in some way, shape, or form. But at this point, they are enemies, I guess, or dislike the lovers. But yeah, this is another book. Next, I have Jade Chang's The Wangs versus the World. So this just arrived on my shelves recently, so I'm very, very excited about this one. It's it represents China, and this one is also a debut book by this author. I've seen a different cover for this book. I think it has red and gold, but I got this one from Book Outlet, and yeah, it says, meet the Wangs, the unforgettable immigrant family whose spectacular fall from glorious riches to rags brings them together in a way money never could. So according to some blurbs here, it's highly entertaining, fresh Little Miss Sunshine, compassionate and bright-eyed novel, an epic family saga. And it's a new look at what it means to be an American. So it's more for the Asian American diaspora, but still very interested in reading this one. So next we have another contemporary romance featuring a different cover again, but than what I'm used to. I know the Real People cover of this book, but this one is animated. This is A Taste for Love by Jennifer Yen. So this one is a young adult contemporary romance, again a palate cleanser in case I have more difficult, heavier books. And this one features Taiwan, and it also fits the prompt of debut book. So this one, I decided to pick it up because it has a nice premise. It's about this high school senior, Lisa Yang, and she's smart, kind, pretty, dreams big, and never shies away from a challenge. This is about her and her mom. So her mom is the owner of Houston's popular Yin and Yang Bakery. She agrees to help out in her bakery's annual junior competition to prove to her mom that she is more than her rebellious tendencies. But it turns out that this bake-off is kind of a bachelorette type thing where her mom shows young Asian American men that is perfect for her to date. So there. Next, I have another Filipino authored book. This is a horror book. This is The Girl from the Well by Rin Chupeco. I have read quite a few books by the author already, but this is one of their earlier works. So yeah, I think this one is kind of reminiscent of The Ring. So yeah, it says here, the dead do not always rest. Okiku always gets her vengeance. She has no remorse for the wicked until she meets 17-year-old Tark. So I'm very curious about this one. But from the cover itself, it's very like reminiscent of The Ring. So there. Next book that I have is another book that was gifted to me. This was gifted to me by Penguin Southeast Asia a few years back. This is My Lovely Skull and Other Skeletons by Tunku Halim. This is a short story collection. Yeah, it says here 15 skeletons await, featuring dark, imaginative, spine-chilling fiction. Are you ready for this? The shackles? Do you have a lovely skull? So there. I have tried picking up this book and putting it on TBRs and always setting it aside. So it's time for this book to finally be read and screamed about. This is very underrated as well. It has a very limited exposure on Goodreads, and it also features a Malaysian author. So there. Next, I have a book by Taheri Mafi. This is An Emotion of Great Delight. This one features a story about 9/11 and an Iraqi family, the impact to their lives of the 9/11 book. It says it's a stunning 9/11 incident. This is about love and loneliness, navigating the hyphen of dual identity and reclaiming your right to you, even when you're trapped in an amber of sorrow. And also, Taheri Mafi, if I'm not mistaken, is an Iranian-American author. So there. Next, I have a carryover from April because I didn't have the time to read the book. As you can see, it's still on its plastic cover. And this is Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. This is a very popular book, making waves in the publishing space. This represents China and also fits the feels timeless prompt because I think R.F. Kuang has been making waves, writing, not letting herself be forced to a certain genre. Like she is known for the Poppy War, that one's timeless. She is known for Babel, a different genre I think as well, and then this one, Yellow Face, is another different genre, but she still writes. And I think she has another book coming out which is also another different genre. So that's very, very exciting. I think the author is timeless. So this one is about the publishing world, about an American putting on yellow face or like trying to trick people in publishing that she is an Asian American or an Asian author. And it's very, very similar to a recent issue that also was brought to light by a video with Cindy, who hosted this readathon. So I think it's very timely too, aside from being timeless. I hope I finally get to read this one this month because I haven't really read an R.F. Kuang book. Next, I have another yellow book, another young adult book. This one is I'll Be the One by Lila Lee. So this one represents South Korea and it's about K-pop. So K-pop is known for its like very high standards, and we have here a queer plus-sized K-pop idol, and I'm very interested to see what type of challenges, struggles that this main character will overcome. Very, very excited about this one. So aside from fitting South Korea, I'm putting this one in for the story, character, or world that represents what you want in your life. I know I won't be like a K-pop idol, but maybe behind the scenes in the K-pop industry is something that I'll be very, very interested to work with in the next life. Like maybe one of their translators, interpreters, or one of their creatives, or one in the management role. So that's very interesting to me. So there, we have that one. Next, I have the last 4 books. They are all Book of the Month books. So the first one I have is Things We Lost to the Water by Eric Nguyen. So this one represents Vietnam. And this one is debut novel as well. So I don't know much about this one, but I have bought it a very long time ago. It says it's a stunning debut novel about an immigrant Vietnamese family that settles in New Orleans and struggles to remain connected to one another as their lives are inextricably reshaped. So there. Super excited about this. Not another book of the month book that has been on the shelves for a very long time is this one. This is Imposter Syndrome by Kathy Wang. This one is also representative of China. And it says here, it's about a novel about women in the workplace, the power of big tech, and the looming threat of foreign espionage. So this one I'll also be putting into prompt number 5 because I probably think that I would love to be in the tech space in the next life. So yeah, there. Next, I have another book I've talked about so many times, another carryover from April. This is Miracle Creek by Angie Kim, also representing South Korea. This is a courtroom mystery drama about a mother and being caught in like being blamed for the death of her autistic son. So it's this one, this one has over 68,000 ratings on Goodreads. So I'm really curious about this one. I hope I get to read it. So there, I read it. So I also be reading it for the prompt, a debut book, because this is the author's debut novel. And finally, last but not the least, I have this one, Advika and the Hollywood Wives by Kirthana Ramisetti. This is also included on my audiobook TBR. And to be honest with you, it most probably will be included in my audiobook reads. But yeah, this is a book of the month pick as well. This is representing India, and I am putting it in the 5th prompt as well because maybe in the next life I'll be in Hollywood. So this is a reach, but it's a fun thing to laugh about. Possibly be in Hollywood on your next life. So there. But this one is about Advika who marries into a Hollywood celebrity. I'm not sure if it's a director, but the person is an influential part of Hollywood, and he has a lot of ex-wives, and I think they all experienced something bad. But basically, Advika caught herself in an ugly marriage. She wants to get out, and I think the Hollywood wives will, I'm not sure if they're dead or alive, to be honest with you, but I think she would find out something about these Hollywood wives, and that would be influencing her decisions in whether she would stay in this type of marriage. So there, that's it. Those are the 15 books I hope I get to read in May. All of these books are very interesting. The problem is that we have very short time. I wish reading is the only thing I have to do, but we have work and we have life. So I hope I get to read at least half of these books this month. So the target, of course, is to fill all the prompts for Cindy's Asian Readathon and read as many Asian books as I could. So this is the first part of my TBR. I'll probably upload a short where I'll just be showing the audiobooks and the ebooks that I have. The audiobooks I'm sure to read, the ebooks I have on reserve, just like on days where I'm on the go and I bring my Kindle with me. So we can read as much as we can. We can maximize the time this May. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video. Please let me know which book interests you the most, or if you have read any of these books, what are your thoughts about it? So help me decide which one to prioritize for this month. And I hope to see you on the next video. Bye!